This is all broken. This is not supposed to be like this, and I didn't break it. They broke it trying to put a door here.
Mary Fountain has a beef with her landlord, only she's not sure who her landlord is anymore.
There's a crack here, and on a windy day, you can feel the air coming through here like the other day when it was cold. Things began to go south when there was a sign placed by the elevator stating that this building will be sold.
In 2008, a group of investors bought her apartment building, 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx, which overlooks the Harlem River. And in the years since, she says she's endured a growing list of maintenance problems, including a broken elevator, a stove that didn't work, and weeks on end without gas.
We didn't have no gas at all in the whole entire building for the month of October and the first 2 weeks of November. Right. 6 weeks.
What's happening at 1520 Sedgwick could reflect a housing crisis unfolding across the Bronx, where banks have sought to recoup losses from overly optimistic real estate deals, and tenants are left with the worst of the bust.
This have never been, since I've been here for over 30 years, look like this. This is the worst I ever seen it.
Before selling the building, the previous owners removed it from the state's affordable housing program, which gave tax breaks for keeping rents low and property well maintained. And in the years since, housing code violations have increased 5-fold.
You call them, sometimes they don't pick up the phone, nothing's being done. Like right now, it's so bad, I'm even thinking of moving out of here. Sometimes you walk in here, it's very dangerous. There could be a leak from the ceiling.
The thing you have to be mindful of is not looking at this as, say, compared to the worst housing you've ever seen, but looking at this today versus what it looked like a year ago.
Dina Levy works with the Urban Homesteading Assistance Board, a tenant advocacy group that tried to stop the sale of the building to speculative real estate investors.
So we had a big meeting here, I think it was probably the first week in December. It's the community room for 1520 Sedgwick, their space to meet and hold parties for the kids and Christmas parties and bake sales, and they've just, in 5 weeks, just managed to destroy it.
Due to alleged deterioration, more than 20 Sedgwick residents have filed suit against the owners of the building and the company that manages it.
The problem, as we all recognized early on, was that the guy trying to buy it, who ultimately did buy it, Mark Karasik, was overpaying for it. He was using private equity from a fund based in California, and we all knew that if he went through with that, it would mean that in order to continue making his mortgage payments and return equity to the investors, he wouldn't be able to maintain the building as tenants had become sort of accustomed to, which was just a basic, decent quality of living.
This is the only photo we could find of Mr. Karasik, who is a rabbi active in Jewish charities in northern New Jersey. He did not return repeated messages left by the New York Times, but through his lawyer declined to comment due to pending litigation. In 2007, Mr. Karasik purchased 2 other Bronx properties, including this building, the Robert Fulton Terrace. Both are now in foreclosure.
These speculators saw real opportunity here to buy cheap with the intention of turning them over and flipping them for more money. That has not panned out to be the case, as we all now know, but it was a risky bet on the backs of low-income families, and now we've estimated that there are at least a couple thousand units in the Bronx that are very much at risk.
That was a building of family. When I first moved to Sedgwick, they had maintenance men that kept it immaculate. I mean, the vestibule, you could walk in there and you could see your face on the floor. That's how well it was kept. One of my friends that used to live in 1520, she moved here.
Sylvia Jones lived in 1520 Sedgwick for 10 years when it went up for sale. But fearing what was coming, she packed her things and moved to a small town in upstate New York, where she's still learning to drive.
It's like the building just started going down and people stopped caring. The only people going to be left in that building is the poor people. They're not going to go anywhere until the building just collapses and they won't have a choice but to go.
Financially, I'm stuck. But that doesn't mean because I'm poor, I have to be subjected to this type of service. Not only that, I am paying my rent.
I ain't got no job, I ain't got no money, so therefore I'm here. For the long haul, I'm here. Whoever owns this building, take care of it. Put some money back into it. And let us live decent.